Lab number 210. In this lab, we will continue on development of our electricity consumption checker application. And right now, we will try to actually move this project to Android emulator. So we'll try to build and deploy to MobileFirst Platform server and then pack the APK file and move it to emulator. So right now, let's start with the same modifications we did previously in our previous series of labs with the command line. Let's disable, first of all, the Ionic platform initialization by just deleting this part of code, because the Cordova itself and everything related to it will be responsibility of Worklight. So Worklight will be responsible for initializing it. We don't need also initialize Cordova JS, so we don't need to load anything here. Next step for us will be actually to save this file and then to do modifications with our styles. So inside the CSS style CSS, let's add the same body position absolute to make our app visible. So just like this. We don't need actually main CSS, so we can easily remove it. We don't need any save delete. Yeah, just like this. Next step for us will be to work with main.js. And here we will need to make sure that our app will be using any server connectivity after initial init. So, I mean, after the server will be, connection with the server will be established, and we will do it the same way as we did it in previous lab series. So inside the controllers, and first controller that we will launch in our case will be dash. So of course we will rename it later, but for now let's just use this name. So inside this dash controller we will do the following. We will set some callbacks for server connection with well init options. On success, and if the connection will be successful, actually we will do the following. So we will proceed with Worklight client connect. And inside we will have also two callbacks. So if it will be successful, let's just do some kind of simple login, like console log, something like connected to MFP server. And of course, if we are not successful, then we will need another callback like on failure. And in this case, our function will actually do a login with console log, saying something like failed to connect to MFP server, just like this. So, and then basically we can add well client init at the end that will call with this init options. So just like this, client init, and we'll pass these options inside with well init options, just like this. And basically this means that we don't need actually our main.js anymore, so we can easily remove it. And let's also make sure that in our index file we loaded other files that are required. So in this case we will need to add before body closure. Just here init options JS that we can actually also move this thing to our controller, but let's leave it as is for now. And we will also need messages that we will most probably modify later on. So we will have here init options and together with messages. So just like this, now our app should be able to connect to a server. So let's try to verify it by opening a new tab in terminal. Let's rename the first one to Ionic and the second one, for example, to MFP. And in this tab, I will do the following. I will do mfp build and deploy with one command, mfp.bd. So this will launch the MobileFirst Platform server and install our environment there together with our app. After it will be built and basically we will be able to see if it's working or not. I will close terminal meanwhile because we don't need it anymore. We have our terminal inside our IDE. So everything is deployed. Now we can go to our console. So localhost, then the ports 180, and then workload console, admin is the username and password. We see our ECC MFP there with one application, and of course it's just common environment for us for now. So we will need to add new environments. Let's do it. Let's add Android and desktop browser for easiness of development. So we will do the main development in desktop browser and then we will test our app on Android emulator. So just like this, and after adding those we will need to do build and deploy once again. Yep, so just like this, let's refresh this page. And now we are seeing that there are two environments available for us. So desktop browser, for example, let's check. Yep, and the same should be for Android. So let's try to preview Android with built-in simulator. So I will make the screen a bit bigger of the browser. So yep, our app is working. We are seeing it. And we should also be able to see the server connection. So let's go back to our console, to our application, and basically now after refresh we should see devices. So yeah, as you can see there is one device connected. In our case that device is actually our simulator. So you can see that there is no certificate and this is just preview dummy model. So this is the exact line that how simulator is looking inside our console. So basically I will move the console here so it will be easier to work with it, and I will leave the simulator open for now. And we will also have our mobile app in desktop environment browser here in the next step to our Ionic preview, so we will be able to check if there will be any difference between those app look and feel between two platforms. Yep, so now it's the right moment to actually try to move our app to mobile device. So for that I will open the new terminal tab and I will rename this to Android. And let's go inside our apps, ECC, and then Android native folder. And here we will first of all do Android update project -p here, and most probably we'll also need to specify the required level, but let's check. Yes, we need to specify the targets with minus t. So we can do it first of all by getting to know what is the available targets with Android list targets. So just the same way as we did it before, we will select the first one, ID1 with Android 19. And our command will be looking like this. And it will create build XML for us. And now we can actually do ant debug that will prepare a binary in debug mode, the APK file that we can install on Android emulator. And while this APK file is building, we will launch Android emulator. So then we can actually connect to it and deploy our app there. So our emulator started and app is also built, so we can install it with ant install d, which will mean install this debug APK. So installation was successful, so we should be able to see this app here, and here it is right in the center, ECC app. Yeah, so we are seeing our app. As you can see, the design has been changed a bit because we are running on Android, so we don't see that tabs at the bottom, we see them on top. This is how people used to work with the tabs in Android design. So our app is working on Android. Let's make sure that it's also viewable from server side. So let's open our operational console and refresh our devices tab once again. And yep, we are seeing that here is our Android emulator device, and it's also connected to our app. So basically, we completed this step also, and on this moment, our lab number 210 is finished. Thank you.